This is Steve with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and today I'm going to show you how to change the oil on this Suzuki DRZ400. Keeping up on your bike's maintenance is important, and changing the oil on your bike is one of the most important things that you can do. Suzuki recommends changing your oil first at 600 miles and every 3,500 miles thereafter. Now, because the Suzuki DRZ400 hasn't changed much since 2000, the procedures I'm going to show you today will be very similar, but make sure to check with your OEM service manual just to be sure. So I'm going to show you today how to change the oil on this 2012 Suzuki DRZ400 S. This procedure will also work on your DRZ400 SM model as well. To do this job, you'll need some basic hand tools, a torque wrench, gloves, safety glasses and rags, along with an oil pan and a funnel. Now we're using our Tusk oil change kit today because it has everything we need to do the job. You'll also need a copy of your OEM service manual for more information, proper procedures and specs. First, let's start the bike, let it run for a few minutes. Now make sure to do this in a well-ventilated area. Now let's put the drain pan under the bike. Now before we pull the drain plugs, because there is two, there's one on the frame and the engine. This engine runs oil into the frame and that's where it stores it, and then it takes what's needed to run. So let's pull the drain plug on the frame first, and then we'll pull the drain plug on the engine. Next, let's remove the oil filter cover. Just make sure you don't lose the spring. Make sure you get the O-ring off, and let's remove the filter. Now there's an O-ring on the inside. Sometimes it might come out right here, so make sure not to lose that one either. But we will need to remove it and replace it with a new one. You might want to stand the bike up straight just so that all the oil drains out of the oil filter cavity. Now let's take some contact cleaner and a rag and clean the excess oil from the oil filter area. And now the drain plug area as well. Don't forget to clean the oil filter cover as well. Now let's take a little new oil and coat our O-rings and go ahead and install those. Now let's install the oil filter. Now on this one, the hole goes on the inside. And now the oil filter cover. Now this is a directional and it's got an arrow facing up, so make sure that that's facing up, otherwise it won't fit on correctly. Now torque these to 8 foot-pounds. Now let's replace our crush washers with new ones. Now let's install the frame drain plug and torque it to 13 foot-pounds. Now let's install the engine drain bolt and torque it to 15 foot-pounds. Now let's remove the dipstick and add oil. Now Suzuki recommends 1.9 quarts. Let's add a little bit less than that. We'll run the engine and then we'll double check the oil level and add what we need. Now again, make sure to do this in a well-ventilated area. Now let's remove the dipstick. We'll wipe off the excess oil. Now to check it properly, you need to stand the bike straight up, and we'll screw the dipstick all the way in, then remove it. Now you can see here that we have oil on the crosshatch. We're going to add a little bit more. We would like the oil level to be in the upper part of the crosshatch, but not too full. Now the last thing I want to point out is if you do have any excess oil on your skid plate, you should probably wash that off before you go riding. And that's it. That's all there is to changing the oil on a DRZ400. Come check us out at RockyMountainATVMC.com for more parts, apparel, and accessories. And if you like what you see here, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Steve. We'll catch you next time.